on your own accord, by your own wishes. I really do. John, can humanity solve humanity's problems, or are we doomed to be ruled by AI overlords?
Oh, dude. I thought you were a nice man. I mean, you threw me a curve here, okay?
I'm a stone cold bastard,
No.
John. I am.
Let's talk about humanity's problems first. What are humanity's problems? We have a society that gives a pretense of politeness, order, relative non-violence, and a structured means of communicating and interacting with one another. It's called culture. But culture is the thinnest of all veneers. Let's look at what's under culture, the human creature. Yes, we love, we have compassion, we hope, we dream, we're caring, we're helpful. I mean, there is not a single human, I truly believe this, on the planet that if you were walking on a path by the river and a child was drowning 10 feet from you, you would not jump in and save the child, provided you could swim. If you couldn't, you'd be screaming for help. I truly believe that. However, that same creature is full of anger, greed, jealousy, fear, everything negative. And the reason that when our leaders become powerful, that they also universally become corrupt is because those beautiful aspects of the human animal, hopes and dreams and love, they don't need power, do they? What power does love need to activate? Nothing. You reach out to another human being and your heart fucking opens. No, so the good parts don't need power. And without power, we're pretty much in balance. What does need power? Hatred, anger, revenge. These things, they need power. And when you give the human animal power, does love expand? No, love stays the same. What expands? Greed, jealousy, anger, all of the things that we are trying to push down through culture. And that thin veneer of culture cracks and disintegrates. And the powerful, ugly person emerges, like presidents, dictators, congressmen. And if you think they are not corrupt, please open your eyes and look closer, because they are. It has been known since the beginning of time that power does corrupt. I don't care how wonderful the person was before gaining power. When the power comes, the only place you can put it is in that dark aspect of your person. Love doesn't need it, nor does it want it. Caring doesn't need power. No, hostility, anger, and hatred need power in order to manifest. And if you give it enough power, then that hatred, revenge, anger will eventually destroy the world. And if you doubt that, please look at Nazi Germany, Italy under Mussolini, the Roman emperors who gained way too much power. Please, the kings of Europe. And power breeds chaos around the person who owns the power. If you doubt that, why don't we look at all the history of kings, emperors, dictators from Rome, where, listen, did any Roman emperor ever die of natural causes? No, not one. You were murdered by either their mother, their father, their children, or their brothers and sisters. Sometimes a distant relative like a cousin, which might have great to gain by whacking them, but not a single one ever died in bed from a natural cause. Doesn't it tell you something? Does not tell you something about what power does to make a mother murder her children. And if you think that doesn't happen, please look at Lydia of Rome, who had all of her children racked except one because she wanted that one to be emperor. And the others were, listen, I mean, you may be a challenge. I want to poison you, which she did. And she eventually poisoned her husband. And so, no, this is what the human animal is when you give it power. So if you think, oh, no, we're beyond that now, we're civilized. Listen, if you want to see civilization, you should go to China or India 5,000 years when our ancestors were still living in trees and caves. The Chinese were weaving silk, writing poetry, playing musical instruments. Talk about culture. The Chinese were the most brutal of all. Brothers killed brothers, fathers killed sons, sons killed fathers, and mothers killed everybody. So no, culture, we have not changed, nor will we ever, as long as we are the genetic creature that we are. And why? We have to be this way. Find me a single living creature that doesn't crush, consume, or destroy something. The leafcutter ants destroy the forest. The lions and tigers, they cull the herds of everything they can catch and swallow. Sharks eat anything that they can. Bacteria, which are living creatures, eat everybody. No, this is what life is. We need hostility and anger, strength and fierceness in order to survive. It is part of nature. Because here is the problem with culture. It only lasts for a short period of time. 100 years, 200. Roman Empire, 300. That's the maximum. And the United States is reaching the end of its fucking culture. I'm telling you now. We're going on almost 300 years. Yeah. Are we going to beat the only civilization that has out-survived us? No, I don't think so. So please, people, this is the problem. And you ask me, what was the second half of this fucking question?
Oh, are we doomed to be ruled by AI overlords?
Ah, there you have it. Ooh. You want the truth, probably.
Of course I want the truth. That's what we're here for.
You motherfuckers.
Unvarnished, no fucking sugar-coated, straight no chaser.
You know, I hate you people, the truth seekers. Because, listen, I'm going to tell you the truth and you're not going to like it. I promise you. The truth is this. Human beings imbue their creations with themselves. Whatever quality you have is displayed and manifested by your creations. Let's take the most obvious, art. Well, let's look at Van Gogh. I mean, that motherfucker was a disturbed mofo. I mean, so disturbed, he cut his own ear off and gave it to his landlord for rent. Now, that's a disturbed mofo. You look at his art, it's beautiful. It is enthralling and awesome because you look at his art and you're going, whoa, that is the true soul of man. But if you look long enough, like Starry Night, to me, is most famous, even though his sunflower sold for the largest price, over $100 million. Starry Night. Going from a distance, you go, whoa. And as you get closer, you go, whoa. And if you look really close, you go, ah! Because in that is not just the beauty of the vastness of the universe, but also the horror. There's no way Van Gogh could have created pure beauty without imbuing that with the horror of his own existence. And if you think it's any different for an architect, well, why don't we look at one of the most famous and most awesome in Barcelona? What's that fucker's name, baby? The architect of buildings.
Gaudi.
Huh?
Gaudi? I don't know.
Gaudi. Gaudi. So strange that his style has been called gaudy, right? Well, that's very gaudy. No, you have to imbue. And if you are a president, if you are a congressman, your actions will reflect the truth of you. And if you think that programmers creating artificial intelligence are not going to imbue that unintentionally, not willfully or willingly, not by design, but unintentionally, because they are human beings with their own attributes, then the first thing that AI is going to do and go, these mofos that created us got no goddamn use. We're doing the work, and they're drinking the booze and fucking the women or the men or whatever.